Good on traders. We'll look at my trades this the weekend, going through all my trades from last week. Overall pretty green. I think on Wednesday I was oversized. On a few tickers, I was just a bit oversized, and I'm gonna talk about those tickers, as well as what has moved. Starting off with Monday, this is kind of like the week. The big ticker I traded on Monday was MBO. MBO came to my radar around 9. It's a biotech, went long 250, 240, sold into the fours, and then went long again at 560, and then went up to 7. This was a pretty big. This is the easiest trade, I think. 250 to 340, made $1 there, and then relonged it at 350, and then I sold it at 4. I made like a couple of trades in this ticker. Mabu, and my last trade was around $1 from here to here, so I was up pretty big on Monday. Another ticker we're talking about on Monday was ARTL. ARTL was a day to short the daily resistance. This is a very this is a short the daily resistance of 26. We were discussing it in the chat room, and you can see we hit 26, went over, and then after that it was pretty much sold off. I didn't really short it, but it was mentioned in the chat room. Next ticker is this is my Tuesday PNL BSLK. What I did in the morning, I traded a ticker in the morning. I think it was either PROC or NDRA. It was PROC. I shorted PROC, and I traded NDRA. So NDRA was a ticker that I went short, and then so what happened was on Tuesday, 2 of the gappers sold off, which was PROC and NDRA. And what I wanted to see is that usually on Tuesday when all the gappers sold off, you got to look for a stock over VWAP that pretty much reclaims and go higher. So I tried 2 tickers here that I think both of them failed. Was it PROC? There we go. PROC. Was it PROC? I don't remember if it was PROC or not. PROC 172 to 210. So I don't have the right data here. Hold on. PROC is right here, 172 to 210. So this was not on Tuesday. So let me get the PROC. This was on. This was hold on. This is PROC. PROC 172 to 211. Hold on. NDRA. NDRA was a short. It was a short from 1050 down to 8. RLYB was a stop out. BSLK was a stop out, and PROC, I have it there from like, must be an error. 172 to 210. No, that's actually got to be an error, because I actually shorted PROC around 680, risking off the highs there of 7, and then I covered to the 460. It must have been an error. So 2 of the top gainers on Tuesday sold off, which was PROC and NDRA, and I was short both of them. Let's see, PROC. Just looking, maybe I missed Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. No, so I was buying it. My bad. So I think I have the wrong chart. There we go. There we go. This is it. This is it. PROC. So PROC, I went long right about here. 172. That's right. So I got the wrong chart. That was that was the next day, I think. That was the next day. So PROC pretty much on Tuesday, we came up over here, we came up over here, we came over here in this area. I went long at 170 and sold over $2. This was my Tuesday trade. I think Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. No, this was Tuesday. No, this is it. This is Tuesday. I'm messing up the profit. So I bought it around here, then I sold it in the twos. This thing went straight up proc. So usually on Tuesday, what happens is you just have a ticker that pretty much runs wild, and I was looking for that ticker to be 78255. I was looking for that ticker to. Well, I was buying it as it broke this wedge. Then I sold it into the 210s, I think. I only made 20% from 170 to 210. So I am definitely selling my longs too soon. And that was proc. You can see so here that I have a gain here proc. So what's 7.9? CLDI and proc. I think proc and CLDI. There we go. There's proc over here. CLDI. There we go. So this is CLDI. Delete that. There we go. So this was Tuesday. Okay. So on Monday, on there we go. So on Tuesday, I went short. I went short NDRA because it was just stalling, covered, and I went short proc. This was on Tuesday. This was a Wednesday short. And then I tried these two tickers, they didn't work. And then I tried long proc. Proc did work. Proc 170 long, up to $5. So definitely we did have range here. So on Wednesday, this was Wednesday 5-9. I did proc, CLDI, and EVOC. Proc, there we go. CLDI, I was buying it as it broke this wedge pattern. 65 up to 90. Then I bought it again over here, I think 110, and I was trying to move it, and I didn't sell too soon, and that was a flat. So we have CLDI and we have proc. This is my short and proc. On Wednesday, this was a day 2 short. We had a wedge pattern here, and I shorted it off the top, risking off 720. Shorted 680, covered 450. That was a really great trade. So proc good, CLDI good, EVOC. What did I do in EVOC? I don't remember what I did in EVOC. Where is EVOC? EVOC. Hold on. EVOC. Oh, I remember what I did in EVOC. Yeah, that's right. I pretty much tried to buy the VWAP bounce. Right here. What I did was my initial bias on it. I had mixed biases on EVOC. I went long, then uh, I had a short bias, and then I flipped to a long bias. I thought we're gonna hold VWAP and we're gonna squeeze, and amazingly, this ticker did retouch pre-market highs, or daily highs of 950 before doing nothing. So EVOC, that was my loss on this trade because I kept buying it. So max loss here multiple times. I traded CLDI, traded over here, bought it again here. Okay, that was good. And then proc day 2 short, that was on Wednesday. And then EVOC, I just tried to do some crazy ass shit. Like this was just not really smart. Like that was on Wednesday. I was expecting this ticker to hold VWAP, and I was just buying it off the VWAP, and we didn't bounce that well. That was on the 9th, right? It was on the 9th. So let's see if we can find all my trades there. June 8th. Hold on a second. So we're starting off with the Monday. Monday we got Mobile. Pretty much I was buying it on the way up, which was good. And I bought it a couple times over here. So it was the one mover kind of deal. Then Tuesday I traded BSLK. BSLK VWAP bounce, they didn't hold. I should have stopped out sooner. RLYB VWAP bounce. VWAP reclaim didn't hold. NDRA I shorted and then covered, which was good. Proc, this was the wrong date. This was the Wednesday trade. So Proc was over here. This was Proc. Proc, I was buying it as it broke 150. Because Tuesday you always get a mover, and that mover is after 10:30 or 10, you get a mover. That stock has to hold VWAP and break pre-market highs. In this situation, it did. It went way much higher than I thought it would. So Proc made money on the way up. NDRA made money on the way down, and these were just me playing with fire because I thought the other one, these are going to be the one running. Moving on to Wednesday Proc CLDI EVOC. CLDI straight up at 7 a.m., straight up at 7 a.m. And then EVOC, I was trying to buy it off VWAP. I thought it was going to hold, then we're going to spike. And then it pretty much hit my max loss multiple times. And then Proc, this was Proc over here. The day too short following this wedge resistance. And then I shorted 680, covered 460. That was a huge gain. That was almost a $2 gain. Moving on to Thursday. Was it Thursday? This was Thursday. That's right. Thursday we had Airi. Airi, I got stuck in this flush. Hit my max loss. That was brutal. SAFX, I was just buying it on the way up. We're buying it on the way up. As it broke 340, I bought at 350. Rode it to 4. That was great. And BTCM, what's that? BTCM, I was just buying it after 7 a.m. push. I was buying it as it broke the pre-market highs, 8 to 9, 50, bought again at 10, sold at 11, and actually made a little bit here of the VWAP bounce. It wasn't that much. I also tried to buy it as it reclaimed VWAP, and I got stopped out. That was on small size. So that was it. So I had Airi, which was a max loss. I understand that's part of doing business. And then on Friday, we had ABVE. This ticker broke pre-market highs of 370. I buy at 370, sell it at 4, rebuy the dip, get stopped out, rebuy. It was choppy. This ticker was choppy, so I avoided the whole thing. Apollo, I was buying it on the way up, but I was a little shaking out about this price action, so I didn't make any money. Then INKD, I was just buying it at 22, 23, sold it at 30, and actually this ticker went to 60 or 70 before pretty much coming down to 50. So this was a humongous gain on Friday. Pretty much the mistakes from last week have been primarily, as you can see, so here, this was part of doing business. Sometimes it hits the breakout point and you just get flushed. So that's part of doing business. EVOC, that's part of doing business. Max loss on the wrong idea. Like you can see, so EVOC, I was trying to buy it off the VWAP and expecting it to bounce, and we hit multiple times max loss. So I respected my max loss rules on all tickers. There was a couple of longs that I could have made more money, like Proc going long. That was one of them. And there was a couple of tickers that I could have shorted that hit the daily resistance. And I oversized in BSLK, which I'm going to pay later if I keep doing it. So BSLK, I bought it at 420, and then I added all the way down to 460 to 360. So I buy it as it VWAP reclaims, and I thought this one's going to be a big ticker for the day. And I kept adding, and then it bounced, and then I sold it. So that was just being stupid. Well, the only really big mistake here is that I oversized on BSLK. The other ones are just even though you see like 23 cents, you know, I lost 13 cents on a huge size. So that was stupid. Well, I oversized on a ticker that I shouldn't, that was not working, just to get out for a smaller loss. And the other things is just part of doing business. Max loss in EVOC. Where is EVOC? Max loss in EVOC. I had the wrong bias. And then I had a max loss in IERI here, which was just brutal. That's about it. Those were like the days so far. 2 max losses throughout all the tickers I traded, and one of them I oversized. You can see the ticker here that I oversized. I had 2 max losses and 1 BSLK. That was you know, even though you don't see a big loss there, but that was, you know, I was just adding on the way down. And then if I wouldn't have had that bounce, it would have been a huge loss. But so the only thing I did wrong was oversized. Everything else, I took the money where I saw it, like Mobile buying it, you know, multiple times around 260 and running it up to 4 or 5, and then buying it again at 570. That was good. Then I tried a few VWAP reclaims, which didn't work. Then I shorted NDRA, that was good. Then I shorted Proc, that was good. Then I bought Proc, that was good. Z I didn't trade. A couple of EVOC wrong size. So IERI max loss. SAFX I traded good. BTCM good. So overall, my only like problem for this week is that I oversized on Tuesday, was it? On a ticker that I should not have oversized just to get out for a certain but the majority of the tickers I respected my rules except one of them that you know, you should not if it doesn't work, you should not add into the dip and then get out on the bounce just because you're wrong. You should just take your stop and move on. Like, that's the only mistake I did. The only mistake I did this week is you should never oversize on a position when you're wrong just to get out and minimize the loss, because that's being stupid. That's about it. This week has been green. Very happy with the performance except BSLK. That was just stupid. Do not oversize. But overall, I stuck to my rules, and we ended up the day pretty green. And very ugly flush in airy. That was just ugly. Anyway, that's about it. See you guys later. So far I had 5 green days in a row, and pretty happy with that. I didn't blow up, and I hit my max loss 2 times, and then I oversized on a ticker. So 2 max losses and oversized on a ticker. That's part of doing business. That's pretty good. Anyways, see you all later, and peace out.